Men Dare Tread, written by Ben-Tzion Spitz, narrated by Jennifer Kahen. The 12 spies wore light woolen robes purchased at the market of Kadesh. They passed Arad and reached the foothills of Hebron. Joshua looked up at the climb ahead and felt pity for some of their heavier members of the delegation. Shammua of the tribe of Reuben walked in front of the group and panted from exertion.
We can't conquer Arad.
Shammua sighed and wiped his brow.
What are you talking about?
Caleb answered from the rear.
Arad is child's play for God. We can't count on miracles here in Canaan. Our people won't adapt to sieges, open warfare, and life beyond the encampment.
What has gotten into you, Shammua? Do you not witness God's mights and miracles? Do you doubt his care and love for us? Do you doubt his promise to give us Canaan?
God would sooner destroy us than save us. I think he tires of us. How many times has he visited punishment upon us since we left Sinai? One more misstep and he will consume us all. Our people no longer have the strength or the faith to be stewards of God.
Shammua pointed at the dry brush.
This land will be the death of us.
Joshua noticed the other spies nodding at Shammua's words. His palms started to sweat. The 12 Israelite spies kept walking northward from Arad. They passed rocky, sparsely vegetated flatlands. The thorny shrubs matched the dusty color of the ground. They climbed up a steep mountain range, pockmarked with gray boulders, moss-covered stones, and wild, bright green grass. Joshua thought God must have rolled giant marbles down the mountain. Halfway up the mountain, they reached a forest overgrown with tall, majestic oaks.
We should visit the tomb of the patriarchs,
Caleb said.
It will do us all some good. It is God's promise to them we will see fulfilled. You're too sentimental, Shammua said. We're on a reconnaissance mission. We don't have time for sightseeing.
Visiting the graves of our forefathers is sightseeing, Caleb raised his eyebrow.
We're here to report on the tactical aspects of invading and conquering Canaan. Hebron would be a waste of time.
Let us look at the map, Caleb motioned to Yigal Yisachar.
What's there to look at? Shammua asked. Hebron is just trouble. The giants are there. I would give them a wide berth.
Caleb stopped. The others stopped as well. Shammua turned around. Caleb stared into Shammua's eyes.
By God Almighty, I swear to you all here and now that I shall visit the tomb of the patriarchs. Not man, nor giant, nor any mortal agency shall stop me. So swears Caleb, son of Yefuneh of the tribe of Judah. Now show us the map, Yigal.
Yigal found a large flat stone in a clearing. He pulled a roll of parchment from his backpack and spread it over the stone.
We are here on the Atarim Road, Yigal spoke through his nose. We passed Arad and we're approaching Hebron. The next city is Jerusalem.
Who will join me in Hebron? Caleb asked. We can all meet up in Jerusalem.
The oaks stirred, followed by loud thumping sounds. The men split up and headed back into the forest, hiding behind rocks, trees, and shrubs. An enormous hand the size of a human body reached out from behind the trees and grabbed Shammua's robe. The hand lifted Shammua above the ground, above the trees, and higher still. The giant's mop of dull blonde hair covered most of his face.
Got what I did,
the blonde giant bellowed.
Fool!
A second giant yelled. He had thick coils of dark black hair.
I told you to wait for us, Ahiman. We could have gotten us more. Now we'll have to work to catch the little fellers.
But it's so much fun to play, Shishai,
a third giant said, emerging from the trees. He was bald except for a tuft of bright red on top of his head. Joshua and Caleb watched from behind a shrub. Joshua saw the other spies' heads peeking behind stone and tree. There are too many of us, he thought. They will catch more of us.
Unhand me,
Shammua yelled as he dangled in the air, trying to get out of the blonde's giant grip.
We are simple travelers and have done nothing wrong.
The red-headed giant approached the captive Shammua.
Oh, but you're not simple travelers. We know that you're Israelite spies. We could smell you a mile away. What do you want from us? Our king would like a few words with you, and then we're gonna eat ya. You'll make a tasty morsel, my plump little friends.
The redhead squeezed Shamua's torso between his thumb and finger.
You would go well with carrots and onions.
The blonde and black-haired giants nodded and licked their lips. Caleb whispered to Joshua, "We need to save him now. What are we going to do? I'll distract them and you'll release Shamua from the giant. And how do you propose I do that? You'll figure it out." Caleb got out of hiding and walked towards the clearing. "Wait!" Joshua said, but Caleb kept walking, sword in hand.
"Are all Canaanites so ugly, or is it just the big ones?"
Caleb called up to the giants. The 3 giants turned their attention to Caleb.
Excellent!
The redhead grinned and reached for Caleb. Caleb ran under the redhead's legs and slashed at the inside of the giant's ankle as he passed underneath. "Ah!" The redhead screamed and held up his leg in his hand as Caleb ran back to the trees. Joshua spotted a springy bush and ran towards it. He jumped high and landed hard on the bush. The bush launched him upwards. With sword in hand, he flew towards the face of the blonde giant. Joshua cut the blonde giant's nose.
"Perhaps he will look prettier with less of a nose,"
Joshua called out midair. The giant dropped Shamua, who fell to the ground, picked himself up, and ran to the forest. The force of Joshua's jump carried him above the treetops. He was surprised to see giant grapes on vineyards to the west. He landed, rolled to slow his momentum, and stopped in front of the black-haired giant.
"He poked me!"
the blonde cried as he tried to catch the blood pouring from his nose.
"My life is flowing! My life is flowing!"
The black-haired giant bent over to intercept Joshua. Joshua headed towards the redhead, hopping on one leg and slashed at it. The redhead lost his balance and fell on the black-haired giant. The black-haired giant fell over and knocked down the blonde, still holding his nose. A pile of massive bodies and 3 sets of legs and arms intertwined on the clearing floor as the giants tried to disentangle themselves.
"Get off me, you oafs!"
the redhead cried. "I knew you'd figure it out," Caleb told Joshua as he met him under the trees. "Shamua is okay. He's leading the others towards Jerusalem." "What about Hebron?" Joshua asked. "They are too frightened to stay in the giants' territory. You go on and stay with them. Somebody needs to keep an eye on those cowards. I have a promise to keep. I will go to Hebron and meet you in Jerusalem. Move quickly before those buffoons get up." "God be with you, brother." Joshua clasped Caleb's shoulder. Caleb returned the gesture. "If our brothers are not with us, God may not be enough." This has been Men Dare Tread, written by Ben-Tzion Spitz, narrated by Jennifer Kahen.